In this video, I will show you how to install the ComputerLab plugin software and then how to point it out to a network database so the sign-in station can use it. Now, ComputerLab plugin is typically installed on all the computers in a computer lab, and it makes every one of those computers its own sign-in station. The way it works is when you launch ComputerLab plugin, it's in a locked state. Then the student would log into the plugin. It would unlock, put a little floating box up in the desktop, and then the student would go about their normal work on that lab PC. When they're done, they would typically sign out. It would go back to a locked state, and then it would wait for the next student to log in to unlock it. Okay, if there's a certain period of inactivity, what you can do is have the ComputerLab log the student off automatically, and it would go back to a locked state. Okay, so what I'm going to do is launch my AccuTrack installer, my AccuTrack.exe that's on my key, and that'll open the installer program. Okay, and then I'm going to go to my ComputerLab. And I'm going to click Install ComputerLab Plugin. And that'll open the Windows installer. And I'll click Next. Next again. I can review my license agreement. I'll accept that. Click Next. And this is the default installation path. I can change that or keep it the same. I'll just keep it. Okay, and the installation will begin. Now, by the way, there's not a whole lot of configuration in the ComputerLab piece. Basically, all I can do is tell it its database location, and I can assign it as a local lab designation. Local labs are covered in your AccuTrack documentation. Most of all of the setup that I do in ComputerLab is handled through AccuTrack itself. So at the end of this video, I'll show you where to determine how you want the ComputerLab plugin to operate using the AccuTrack software. Okay, the installation is complete, so I'll finish, and then I can exit my installer. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell the plugin where its database is, and I can do that by opening the install folder. And as we saw, if you viewed the video on upgrading an older database, I can use this setDataPath.exe. In other words, I don't need to open the plugin and tell it where its database is. I can set that database before I even open the plugin. So I'm going to do that. And click Next. Now, I've already got it set actually from before, but as you can see, I've got support1 AccuTrack files, my college AccuData. So that was from a previous install that I'd done. But what I would want to do is go out on the network and find out where my AccuTrack database is, and then I would pick it. So it's on my support1 server in this case, in a AccuTrack files folder, and then a subfolder, my college AccuData. So I have that set. I'm fine there. And then I'm going to launch my plugin. Now, if I want to get into the administrator portion of ComputerLab, where I could set my database location or designate a local lab ID, I'd use the same administrator login as I do for the AccuTrack database, and the default is all ones, and then caps new. So I'll do that. And as you can see, there's not a lot here. I have database location, set local lab ID, and download updates. Now, if we put out an update to the software, you can run download updates. It will check to see if an update is available, and if it finds one, it will install back over to itself. Okay, but let's return back to the sign-in screen. And this is what we would see in ComputerLab. You see it fills the screen. It's locked. I can't do anything on this lab PC until I log in to AccuTrack. So I'll do that with a student ID. And if I so choose, I could have it where you pick a category and activity. I could bypass this and just do a straight sign-in, but I'm displaying here category and service in this case. So I'll say computer use, let's just say career choice. I sign in, and now the computer is unlocked, and I have a floating box that's logging, in this case, Mickey D, the student's time on this lab PC. I also have an option to page Lab Assistant. There's another executable in that same folder where the plugin is installed. It's called AccuPager, and that gives me the ability to designate whoever I want to be lab assistants, and then from every lab computer I could page the lab assistant if I'm having some problem or issue on this particular lab PC. Okay? But Mickey D has continued to be signed in. He would go about his work. And then he would sign out. If he failed to sign out, then we could use auto sign out rules. But I'll go ahead and sign out here. And it goes back to a locked state, and it waits for the next student. Okay? So I'll log back in as admin now, so I can exit. And as I mentioned, the settings for the computer lab are controlled in AccuTrack, so now I'm going to open AccuTrack to go look at those settings. Okay, so now I'm going to expand my Setup menu, and then I'm going to click on Options. Okay, now I say that, but probably a good idea first, let's go make sure that it's the same database, right? Because I want to go change the settings on a different database, so let's take a look. And sure enough, it's My College AccuData, so I am on the correct database. So I'll go back to my Setup Options. And in my setup options, what I'm looking for is the link right here, plugin. So I click that, and you can review these on your own. This is covered also in the documentation, but this is where I set up the rules for the plugin. Okay, so all of the ComputerLab plugin PCs that are connected to this database will use my rules. Okay? Okay, that's it. Thank you.